Welcome to the Generic Tech Support YouTube channel. Like and subscribe for more content. Hey guys, chances are you caught the short and that's how you got here. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to install Python with security on your Windows 11 system. If you're looking for just how to install Python without the security functions, check out the short. Step one to completing this is simply just going to the website of www.python.org/downloads/Windows and locating the Python 3.13.7 download, specifically the stable release. If your version is later than this one, then use that version. Use whatever the stable release is that you find on the website. Once you follow that link, scroll down to the bottom of the page and you'll see files listed. Under the files location, you're going to want to download the Windows installer for 64-bit platforms. That's going to work on your Windows 10 or your Windows 11 system in 99% of the cases. Obviously, you could run a 32-bit version if you're running a 32-bit operating system, and you can run a 32-bit version on a 64-bit operating system, but it's not recommended because you may have conflict with other 64-bit applications, such as things like PowerShell, which will interact with Python itself in some applications. Once you have the application downloaded, just go to the downloads directory or wherever you downloaded the application to and locate the exe, right-click on it and choose Run as Administrator. When prompted, hit Yes. Now that we've launched the Python installation package, we have a few options here that we should review before we install Python. The first one, which is probably the most obvious, which is the Install Now. Now, if you choose this, it will install it under your directory or your profile list. That's not recommended because there's a lot of interaction that takes place between the Python application and other portions of Windows. And if you end up doing something wrong or screwing something up, you can hose your profile, and that's not a recommended configuration for Python. In addition, if you choose this and then also choose to use the admin privileges and then add Python to path, using admin privileges is also not a good idea with Python because you don't want to execute everything in Python as admin, specifically because admin itself doesn't have interaction with the desktop. So if there's specific things, like for instance an API that calls like Google Chrome, you won't be able to call Google Chrome as admin because if you do that, then that profile is not the same as your profile, and also chances are Google Chrome doesn't exist in the admin profile itself. The additional portion here, which is add Python exe to path, actually adds it to the C Windows System 32 directory in order for it to launch through System 32. And the reason why that is because then you can launch it directly from your CMD as admin. Now, this is an option. You could do this or not do this. It doesn't really make much of a difference from the sake of configuration. However, for security, it's not a good idea because you're also giving the python.exe application access to your System32 directory, which in itself is not a secure thing to do. So let's install this now with customized installation. Something to keep in mind here is something that says PyLauncher. Now, if you use the PyLauncher, what that does is that gives you the ability to run it in GUI, which may or may not be a good thing for you. Generally speaking, I would suggest not doing this and then installing the PyLauncher individually for individual profiles if that's something you decide to do, but not have it run under all profiles. Based on the package details here, there are some things we need and some things we do not. The first thing we don't need is documentation. Obviously, we could use Google or just about anything to access documentation for Python, so there's really no reason for us to install it here. The next thing we don't need is the PyLauncher. And the reason why is because we're going to run this through command line. There's really no reason for us to use the PyLauncher. It makes it easier for end users that need the GUI in order to use Python. I'm going to tell you right now that Python from a command line is a lot easier to use, at least in my opinion, than the GUI is. The rest of the stuff that's in here is stuff that I'll keep. And the reason why is because pip will allow us to install additional packages. The tkinter, which is really a TK interface, it is a environmental location that allows you to put a visualization or a GUI front end on your configuration. So basically, if you decide you're going to create something that says, like looks up specific web pages, you're going to create a browser that uses just a single command to look up specific information from a web search, then you could use the tkinter to do that. It'll just create a virtual GUI box that allows you to add the information into it. This is super helpful and the reason why I would keep it. The last thing in here is the Python test suite. Now, it's not what you think it is. It's a application front end that gives you the ability to test the interaction between the Python application and Windows applications. So in other words, if you want to launch like Google Chrome from an API call, you could use that with the test suite to test it to see if it's going to work correctly, if there's going to be any errors, and then specifically what those error codes are. So I would leave that here as well. At this point, I would just click on Next. So the reason why I'm doing this specifically through the advanced feature configuration, is because there's two settings in the advanced options that we need to change. The first setting we're going to change in here is we're going to remove the need to create a shortcut for the installed application. Since we're not going to use the GUI and we're going to use command line on our particular configuration, there's absolutely no reason for us to create shortcuts. The other thing we're going to change on here is we're specifically going to customize the install location. On our system, since we always use the tools directory, I just created Python application, and I'm going to actually change this location to this location for the installation, which you should now see on the screen. At this point, I'm going to click on install. There's no need for us to create the Python in the environmental variable. We're going to install everything into this applications directory, and then we're going to use CMD to actually execute our commands, just as we did if we were installing it from the quick way to do it. Only now we have the security in our configuration. So let's click on install. And we go in the background here, we can now see all of the stuff being installed on our actual system from our Python installer. And there we go. Once it finishes, we could just click on close. So at this point, we could just use Python as if we were using Python in the past through CMD. Just we'll have to do it through this directory versus actually the system variable or the system path, because the files now don't exist in the system32 location. So what we'll do is we'll open up command prompt, not as administrator, but as the user. And then we're going to change directory to this location. So for those that don't know, it's simply just CD / and then hit enter on the keyboard. And then at that point, we'll just do CD to change directory to tools and then Python application, and we'll hit enter. And then we'll type in CLS so we can start at the beginning of the prompts, and then we'll hit enter. So now if we want to show the directory, we could do dir and hit enter. Now something that we're specifically looking for in the dir is scripts. And the reason why is because scripts is where we actually have to go first in order to install anything under our pip configuration. So to do that, we're going to just simply do CD again for change directory, and then we're going to do scripts, but we could just do SC and hit tab on the keyboard, and it'll autofill the rest of that, and then hit enter. Now in the previous video, we installed Flask. We'll do that again. So we'll just do pip install Flask, and then we'll hit enter. Now the nice thing about Python is it will give you the errors and tell you how to circumvent them or how to fix them if you decide you want to fix them. For instance, we note that the script Flask is installed at this location, which is the location we want it to be installed, which is not on path. So in other words, it's not the path directory or the system variable directory. But we don't want to install it on the system variable directory. That's how we're going to include all of our security. Understanding, of course, that if you do this and you install multiple different scripts, so pip use pip to install Flask. You could use it to install hundreds of other Python-based scripts. Those scripts could be infected. You never really know. And as a result, you really don't want to add anything into your system variable if you don't know whether or not that particular script is infected or trusted or not trusted or whatever it is. So doing it this way actually increases the performance and security of the system because you're really containerizing the application in its own place. So in the event that it does become infected, you could literally just go in there and shift delete the entire directory, and you don't have to worry about it because it's not running as a system process under System32. The permissions are different in the folder structure on Windows where this actually is installed versus installing it directly into the system variable or system path. Obviously, this adds an additional step that you'll have to do if you want to run your installation. So you can't run pip from the application. You would have to run it from scripts, which means that you would have to know that that's where your path or your variable is in order for things to work or function correctly, which adds an additional question mark as to whether or not certain things will run right or won't run right. And obviously, for ease of access, use the short video just because it's a lot easier to maintain and manage. However, if you're looking for security, this is how you do it on Windows with security. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.